I want to share my views about wealth management. A young man approached me. Well, he's not that young. He's in his late 30s. And he asked, Mr. Tan, I wish our school have taught young people about wealth management. I told him I disagree. Now, why do I say that? First, the schools have been teaching young people about financial planning and wealth management for many years. It does not work. The young people, maybe they find this topic too difficult to understand. These are students, they have not started to work yet. Or their mind might be focused more on passing the examination. So, what about then people who have started work? Should they worry about wealth management? And I think this word wealth management is nice, but then what is more important is they should know about financial prudency. Now, what is financial prudency? Here, I'm talking about the majority of young people who have started work. They earned a modest income. I'm not talking about super wealthy people who have got tens of millions of dollars. I'm talking about ordinary working people. Now, what is financial prudency? My advice to them is don't spend all the money you earn. Keep aside 10–20%, maybe a bit more, as savings for your future. Now, how can you be setting aside savings when you're not earning that much? The answer is be prudent in what you spend. Now, some young families, they say, I need a car because I have children. And the answer is no. There are many other people who have children that don't need a car. So we know how expensive a car can be in Singapore. And then some young families say, I want to buy the most expensive property I can afford because property prices are going to increase in the future. And the answer is no. Why you should just buy, my advice, buy a subsidized HDB flat with a government grant. That is a more prudent thing to do. Now that means you can have some money set aside as savings. Maybe when it comes to children, I've seen young families spend a lot of money sending children to expensive preschool classes, enrichment classes, and so on. Maybe some of this spending can be minimized so that you can have more savings. All right, now let's say that you have savings, then how do you invest your savings? My advice is just put it on fixed deposit or government bonds. I know the interest rate is low, but that is okay for the start. It is safe. You do get a modest return. Now, after you have accumulated a larger sum of money, then it is time to invest. And what is the best way to invest? Is it to talk to a wealth manager? The answer is no. Remember, a wealth manager works for a bank or an insurance company. They have to earn commission by selling you these investment products. And the financial institution, the bank or insurance company, will want to earn a profit. Now, all of these commission and profit come from your investments, come from your savings. So you don't want to be giving away too much of your money to make other people rich. Am I right? Now, then what do you invest in? My advice is invest in an index fund. Now, what is an index fund? It is a fund, like a unit trust, that is invested in the 30 largest company in Singapore. I call these blue chip shares. Blue chip shares are large companies that have been operating for many years, that are profitable, and the blue chip shares have generally produced an attractive return over many years. So I know you don't have that much money to buy many blue chip shares, but you could buy the index fund. And that index fund can be bought through the Singapore Exchange, through a stockbroker, or through an online platform. So you just buy the index fund. Now, if you want to buy specific blue chip shares, it is all right. Buy the specific blue chip shares. Could be a bank, could be a property company, but make sure it is a blue chip share listed among the top 30 in Singapore. Now, I want to share with you a story of my uncle. He's now in his 90s and still around. And he told me when he was maybe about 50, 60 years ago, when he was still a young man, he bought the shares of one of the banks, and he kept it in his drawer for the last 50, 60 years. Not just one share. I think he bought many shares as the years go by. He kept them in his drawer, and of course he told me the shares have multiplied 10, 20, 50, maybe more times. Now this is why investing in blue chip shares is a good choice. So just buy the index fund or the blue chip shares. Now, of course, I want to say this advice is for most ordinary people. Now, you might have some people that are extremely wealthy. Maybe they make tens of millions of dollars from business or from inheritance. Do they need then a wealth manager? The answer is yes, it will be useful. But remember, the wealth manager still has to make a living. His financial institution has to make a living. So you need to be able to understand what are the things to look out for, even when the wealth manager advises you to. So do not just blindly trust a wealth manager. Learn something about investment so that you can make the right decision. Let me then just summarize my key points. When you start to work, remember my tip about financial prudency. Set aside 10, 20 or more % of your earnings as savings. Invest the savings in fixed deposit or government bonds, and later on invest them in a index fund or blue chip shares. Maybe if you are really well off and you have made several tens of millions of dollars, then you can look for a wealth manager. Thank you for watching this video.